Hello, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are watching this because you want to learn more about things that I would not change on my debt payoff journey, things that you might tell your previous self, maybe something that I would tell my younger self. Actually, I would tell myself, younger self, and myself that was paying off almost $50,000 worth of debt. These are the things that I would not change. So welcome. If you are new, I am Deidre. I'm in my mid to late 30s. I work full time in Canada, and a huge amount of love out to my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. I am hoping to get to 500 subscribers by 2026, by the end of 2026, but it would be cool if I could get there way faster, as I want to do a giveaway with some amazing budgeting items to either help somebody start their journey or just keep on their journey. So yes, I paid off almost $50,000 worth of debt. Now, this was not done in a very short period of time, like a year or two. Most of it was not even on YouTube. I started my YouTube journey just to help me be accountable, and I was hoping to just share my sort of experiences and my knowledge with those in the budgeting community, as it's a super welcoming, super supportive community. So I hope you're here either to see what I would not change, maybe get some ideas. So yes, my journey has been quite a long journey. And again, most of it was not recorded, but I am super proud to say that I'm consumer debt free, and I have been since April of this year. And that was my goal, was to have it paid off in the spring, which I obviously met. So yay, that's so awesome. I'm so proud of myself. I will be going into 2026 with the only debt is my mortgage. And obviously I see that way differently than I see consumer debt. So if you are new, I had basically one debt. All of my debts over the years were put into a line of credit. So I was only paying on a line of credit. So, but it was huge. It was absolutely huge. You have to go back. If you've not been around, you will see some of my first videos are talking about my debt, sort of my goals about my debt. So yes, I am a single income household, and I would not say I'm low income, but I'm not high income. I'm also very lucky that my expenses are fairly low. I have negotiated like my cell phone. I've taken advantage of different things for my cell phone, car insurance, my condo. When I purchased it, I wanted to make sure that my condo fees along with my mortgage payment were not going to be super high. So I made some decisions way back when that have allowed me to have expenses that are fairly low. I also have not had a car payment. I had a new vehicle in 2019. Not new, it was new to me. It was 4 years old, but my vehicle previously was starting to cost tens of thousands of dollars in mechanical work, and my parents were incredibly gracious. They sort of knew my financial situation, and they paid for the vehicle. Now, if I can pay them back, I absolutely will, but if not, it will just come out of the money that I would get from them. They have been super supportive and helpful with my siblings as well over the years financially with various things. So my parents are all about being fair and equal. So, but I'm super thankful to them for that. But knowing that eventually I will have to purchase a new vehicle, that is sort of something I'm going to start saving for kind of next year. But that's a little bit off topic. But yes, these are the 5 things that I would absolutely not change about my debt payoff journey. And my debt payoff journey was, like I say, quite a long one. I think it was about 6 years. So yeah, these are the things I would definitely not change. So the first one is that I would still make sure to contribute to my RRSP. So that is a retirement fund here in Canada. And the reason why I say that is as I cannot get time back. So I am closer to 40 than I am to 30, and time is not on my side. And I have known about needing to save for RRSPs since basically I was 18 years old. My parents are incredibly financially responsible. They know so much, and they did tell us about, contributing to RSPs. I did contribute a little bit in my 20s. Stupid me, needed money at various times, or I felt like I needed money. I maybe really didn't need the money, just kind of blew the money, and took some money out. So being in my sort of, when I started my journey being in my early 30s, I was contributing a little bit towards an RSP, and I do not regret it. Even if it was not huge amounts, I do not regret it. It still is incredibly important that that money is going towards my retirement. Being single, I could potentially be single for the rest of my life, and so I need to take care of myself. I am lucky. I do work somewhere that has a defined benefit pension, so money is put in by myself and my employer. It also earns interest, and it will can be paid to me when I reach that time. Now, if I stay working for my current organization, I could technically retire at about 55, but we'll see. We'll see. Everything, the way the world is, you just don't know what's going to happen. But I can't rely just on a pension, and I cannot just rely on old age security or Canada pension plan when I get there. So even though I wasn't contributing a lot to my RSP during the time, I have increased it kind of over the years. I've increased my percentage, and I am going to increase my percentage that I put next year as well. So yes, definitely do not regret doing that. Now, some people might say, you got to throw everything you can at your debt, but I knew this was going to be a very long journey. I knew that I would not crank it out in a year or two, so I would have lost time. And also, I feel like I would have not potentially made the choice to put as much as I now put into my RSP had I not started out small. So do not regret doing that at all. Next up is I do not regret saving in sinking funds. This was actually to help me pay for things that have happened along the way, as well as I did not add any debt while on my debt payoff journey. A lot of it was due to sinking funds. So I was actually able to purchase a brand new mattress. I needed a new mattress a few years ago. I did look for the best deal. I looked just before Black Friday, and the mattress I wanted went on sale on Black Friday, and it was for a good price. That was a few years ago. I've been able to fund car repairs along the way as well. Not major car repairs, but just little things here and there. I'm very lucky. My dad is very mechanical, and he has done most of those things himself, but still, to purchase the parts is not always the cheapest. I always go help when he's working on my car for anything. I'm wanting to learn, I'm wanting to understand. So, but yes, I've been able to do that. My sister got married last year, and as soon as they announced their engagement, I started saving for it. If you go back and watch some of my videos from last year, my sister got married in the province that we live in, but not close to home. So I was very thankful that my parents, we went and stayed in their trailer. So that did save me money. I didn't have to pay for that, but I needed an outfit. I needed a wedding gift for them. I needed a bridal shower type gift. So yeah, just some costs associated with that. I also didn't buy an expensive dress or expensive shoes or anything, but still I needed to pay for those things. So having a sinking fund, having that goal to work towards helped me not add debt, and I was able to do it just with the money I had saved over time. I've also fully funded Christmas and paid for Christmas the last few years. I start every January putting money from a paycheck into a separate savings account, and I've not had to add any debt for Christmas. Also sort of setting a budget within these things when I've been purchasing has also helped me a lot. So yeah, I would definitely not give up sinking funds. It's been a total game changer for me, 100%. The me from 10 years ago wouldn't even have wanted to save money like this. So it's made a huge difference to my life, and it will continue to. Next up is I do not regret selling items that help me pay down the debt. It has helped me declutter. It's also helped me realize what I like and what I like to use, or what I do use, and sort of what I'm willing to part with. So I am like a makeup person. I love makeup skincare. I have been selling on Poshmark since I believe the very beginning of 2020. Now Poshmark obviously takes sales. I've sold some on eBay. I've actually sold off and on eBay since 2006. I've sold some stuff through Facebook Marketplace. So money did help me pay down my debt. Now, I will say that sometimes I would take half and put it towards my RSP and put half towards the debt. It would just depends on how much kind of sales I was making. Now, with these high ticket items, was these super, no, but like $20 for this, $15 for that, $30 for that really does help pay down the debt. And it's just kind of helped me realize what I want to have around me, what I really like to use, what I used to care about. I will say I don't care about as much for things. So that has absolutely helped me and just has helped me continue. Even though I am debt free, it just has helped me continue. So, next up, so I'm a spender by nature. And I used to just buy whatever I wanted, and I bought on impulse, and I would go into stores where I could easily blow tons of money. So I gave myself some spending money every single paycheck. And I do not regret that because I am a spender, because it did help me not overspend. It also helped me with not wanting to spend huge amounts of money. So I didn't add to my debt, basically. I still have credit cards and I use them responsibly, and that is a huge thing to me. I use cash most of the time where I can, but if I'm buying something online or whatever, I use my credit card. But I also really now think about my purchases and I don't just act on impulse all the time. So that has been a major shift for me. There are times where I still get that impulse or that I don't know how to describe it. If you're not a spender, you won't understand. I think my spenders out there get it, but I think way more, especially online. I don't just see it and buy it, which the old me would have done. And I don't use shopping as a hobby. I used to. I'll be perfectly honest, in my early 20s, go to the mall, wander around the mall on a Saturday, go to a bigger mall that's a few hours away where they have way more stores. I would do that as a hobby. So I no longer do that. I also avoid certain stores, not all the time, but sometimes, certain times of the year. So, and that's because they will trigger me. I will want to go in and spend money because, it's a favorite store. I'm sure we all have those. And then I also tend to not wander around my trigger stores. So like in Canada, we have Shoppers Drug Mart, which I've been a member of their loyalty points program for forever. And like I say, I love makeup, I love skincare. So that can be a trigger for me. So not wandering around the store, kind of going to the aisles I need to, or if I have time, where I'm waiting, say, for my prescription, I will wander, but I will just kind of browse. I have to really think. If I am seeing something in the store and I'm like, oh, I really want that, I have to really think, do I want to buy it now or not? So just kind of avoiding trigger stores, kind of either altogether for certain time periods or just not allowing myself, kind of getting in, getting out, just so I'm not tempted to spend. So last but certainly not least, this is one of my things that I absolutely do not regret, is talking about my journey and my goals to getting my debt paid off, as well as some saving goals as well, with just a few very close people in my life. I have two good friends that I was able to, I work with them. That's how I know them. They're co-workers, but they are dear friends, and just letting them know, like, hey, so sometimes my friend and we will go out for lunch, but we're not afraid to use coupons. We're not afraid to go for lower price stuff. I have the other friend that we tend to just do coffee once in a while. We also sometimes will just go on walks. So it was important that they know that what I'm trying to accomplish in my life. Not that they're big spenders anyways, and as well as my parents knew that I was obviously on this journey, and it just allowed me to, that in a way they knew that I couldn't afford to do expensive things. So there wasn't the expectation of that. And they were also super supportive of me, which is always amazing. My two friends, I am so thankful for them. I, of course, support them in all of their stuff in life, but it was just so nice to have that support as well. And just also, my parents, because I think sometimes debt, especially for me, I think was sort of shameful. especially around my parents, because they are so good with money and they are so debt averse. Like so debt averse. They paid off their mortgage like way ahead of time. That's how much they try to avoid debt. Not that they haven't taken it on, but they're incredibly responsible when they do take it on, and they try and get it gone as fast. So my relationship with them changed, which was super fantastic that I can talk about money with them. I am very open with people in my life about money, about savings goals, things like that, because I'm no longer trying to hide things. This is me. This is my journey. This is my goals. I will talk about money with people. I have no fear. I wish people would be way more open and honest about their debt, just money in general. I think there's a lot of fakery out there. And even for myself, the reason why I got into debt is really fakery. You're trying to impress people, you're trying to look a certain way, you're trying to come off a certain way. And I am way more authentically myself now throughout my journey, because I just allowed myself to not worry about it. So I don't worry about impressing people as much anymore. Of course, we still want to impress people, but I think I don't worry as much about that. And so I don't spend on the things that I used to spend on. So yeah, those are my 5 things that I would absolutely would not change about my debt payoff journey. I would love to hear what your thoughts are, and what, either if you've paid off debt, whether you're working through paying off your debt. I would just love to know what you would not change about your journey. And if you have made it to this point, I would absolutely love it if you would leave a die or a dice so that I know you made it here. And if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Join me on this journey. I would love to have you. And if you are returning, just thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you watching this so much. I will love to connect with you in the comments, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye, everybody.